Here is how girls actually want you to talk to them. I'm Sona Kim, America's face of dating, and out of the thousands of guys that I have coached and mentored over the past 3 years alone, I've come to realize that most guys, we just don't know how to communicate well. But luckily, this is an ability that can be learned. This is a skill that you can understand and apply instantly today after you watch this video, right? This is not genetical, this is not inherited. This is a skill that you can actually learn. Why? Is because I used to believe that girls, they wanted you to just tell them how beautiful they are and just be nice to them, almost like it was a good Hollywood movie where you would chase her down into the sunset and you're like, Sarah, Sarah, I know now. You're the one. You complete me. But when I did that, and when I did things like that and bought flowers for girls and gave them jewelry and necklaces and just emptied my bank account for girls, they tended to just find another guy that seemed kind of like a dick or an asshole that would treat her not as good as I thought that I could treat her. And it left me wondering, well, what does she want? How does she want a guy to communicate to her? And after I learned a few of these secrets, it really just changed everything. So let's talk about indirect communication versus direct communication, okay? Women, they tend to be more indirect. For example, if she's cold and she tells you, she's like, I'm kind of cold, she's really indirectly saying something along the lines of, hey, I'd kind of like to wear your jacket, or I kind of want you closer to me. But men, we tend to speak more direct language, where girl says that she's cold, then guy's thinking over here, he's like, oh yeah, well then I'll just turn up the heat. Problem solved, right? But that's actually not how you actually make a woman attracted to you. You have to understand how to speak actually indirectly to her, and that's what I'm here to tell you how to do, okay? One little trick that I learned is called the us frame, or the us two frame. And what that really means is that when a girl, let's say that a girl, she walks up to you, right, and she asks you for your name, most men just reply logically to this. They're just like, well, this is how like a male's brain works. Is that he gets asked question, or there's a problem, he figures out solution to that problem. Therefore, point A to point B as fast as possible. Women, they tend to be all over the place, and that's how they communicate. And that's how actually, if you want to make her attracted to you, that's how you got to communicate to her. For example, if she comes up to you and asks you for her name or for your name, then you want to speak indirectly. Instead of just answering your name, you want to take that indirect language and take what she is saying indirectly and almost misinterpret it as something else about you two, or that she's flirting with you. But this is how high-value men interpret a woman's questions. For example, if a woman came up to me and asked me for my name, I would automatically start flirting with her and say something along the lines of, "It doesn't matter, baby. Like, you're too old for me, or you're too young for me, so you don't even need my name." And she would giggle and laugh, and she'd be like, "Oh, shut up. Like, it's probably like, you probably have like some nerd name, don't you?" Right? And like, that's literally how it goes. And men don't understand this because they're like, this seems so illogical. It doesn't make any sense because literally girl asks for your name and you tell her it wouldn't work out between you two anyway. But it works. You just saw the results of that. Literally how I talked, that's literally how women want to be communicated with. And so just remember that when you're going into your next conversation, that instead of replying logically to everything and direct to everything, I want you to misinterpret what they're saying to be something about you or them, or really just your situation in general. And that is going to bring a more entertaining conversation. Just try it out and trust me and see how it works, and see how it works for you. And if you have any questions for me, put them down in the comments section for me. I'd love to read them and answer them, and we'll go from there. And so on that note, go practice that skill. I am Sona Kim, America's face of dating. I will see you next time.